What does success mean to you? I feel like there are so many people that wake up and they go to their morning workout, they grab their coffee, they go to work, they come home, they cook their dinner, they maybe see a friend or two, have a happy hour, and then they go to bed and they do it all over again. And one of the most life-changing moments that I had is a couple years ago. I was on a train. At the time, my background on my phone was just the word success. And I went to check the time as I was about to hop off the train, and the train conductor saw that my phone said success. And they asked me, what does that mean to you? And it was the first time that I think I was truly exposed to the idea that there was more than one meaning to success, that not everyone had the same vision of what success was. Anyways, hi, if you don't know me, my name is Kat, and approximately 1 year ago, I quit my corporate job so that way I could find a more authentic and fulfilling lifestyle. And in that, I very much so started to question what my version of success was. In trying to figure out what success means to me, it really made me take a look at my values. So prior to me quitting my job, it was understanding that this is no longer actually my vision. And I don't know that it ever was my vision. It was the vision that was taught to me. And I think realizing that was kind of a hard pill to swallow, because you're like, wow, I just spent so much time building someone else's dream. That's so silly. And so for a second, you really have to be like, okay, so if this job isn't my vision, how many other dreams and visions of mine are not actually mine? And that's where you have to start going through. What does money mean to me? What does a job mean to me? What does family mean to me? Where do I want to live? What is my true goal in life? Is it peace? Is it pleasure? Is it money? Is it like, there's so many ways to define what success is and what you want your life to be, and how you want to go about achieving all of those values, or aligning yourself with all of those values. So what I originally thought would make me happy is your stereotypical societal expectations of, I would like to make as much money as possible, and I would like to be able to afford nice things and do nice things with all of my money. And I didn't really have any other goals besides that, at least for a very long time. It was kind of just like, how can I make more money? It was never about, is the thing that's bringing in money for me going to make me happy? Because I worked at that corporate job for way too long. I literally didn't want the job that they gave me, but they said, in order for you to get to the job that you want to do, you have to do this middleman job first. Looking back, it's a very, very sad life. And unfortunately, I did have to become very, very sad in order for me to realize that this is not what I wanted. What I realize that I want now is actually human connection. That is the basis for everything that I want. I want a controlled nervous system. I want peace. Truly, it's actually feeling like I'm a part of nature, because I am nature. I think that society has made us really feel like a lot of robots and think that being productive is the most important thing in life, when in reality, the whole point is quite literally to live, to experience, to connect with people, to connect so that way we can make society better. That is the point. Not to be productive, not to be a machine. Yes, it's cool to be efficient, but for what? For why? So now it's all about asking, why am I doing this? Does this actually serve a greater purpose than fitting into society? Because quite frankly, I don't even like society. I don't think we're at a place that we should be. So why would I feed into the system that I already don't agree with? You know? That is essentially what I want. And in order to get that, yes, money is nice, but it's an amplifier of anything that you already feel. I now base my job on how it makes me feel and not the money that it's giving in. Because at the end of the day, I do feel like I will be successful at some point doing the thing that I love. But I've spent so many years repressing the thing that I love that it's going to take me some time to actually get good at it. And once I get good at it, that's when the money will come. But I will be more than willing to take as much time and resources into becoming good at this thing because I actually love it. Like, I think about this often, is I became very good at my job in corporate that I did not like or care about. And I think about all the time how good I could become at something that I actually liked and wanted to be good at. Like, insanity. Now, what do you do when you finally figure out what your definition of success is? And what do you do when it looks different than society's? Well, I think that the easiest way to be able to integrate these new beliefs is to remove yourself from anywhere that's going to tell you that that belief is wrong. And that sounds like it's going to be really, really hard to do, and it definitely is. But I will say a lot of my growth came whenever I was traveling, specifically solo traveling, because one, I could spend as much time alone as possible. And when you're alone, you kind of just get to think, and the thoughts that you're having are only your own, because that is the only person that you're truly communicating with is yourself. Like, if you truly kind of just sit in your own presence, your thoughts are the only ones that you're having. And I think if you can have them repeated enough to you that they stick, you'll have an easier time when you have to actually go back to society and integrate them. You will feel more firm in your footing on those beliefs to be able to tell someone else, hey, I don't agree with what you're saying about success. I don't agree with what you believe. And that's not really something for you to tell me is wrong, because I've spent my time and I've spent my energy figuring out what I want. And I also think that when you're traveling, you also tend to find more open-minded people. And in general, you are probably in an area where they think something different or they have a different value system than your own home. So I think in general, it exposes you to more beliefs or values that you could have, while also giving you the opportunity to set the beliefs and values that you have more firmly in your subconscious, that you don't really care what anyone else has to say about them. Now, if you can't travel, I do think that you need to be around new people, because that way you can just it's like the difference between learning and unlearning. When you're around someone that you've known for a while and you're trying to tell them, hey, actually a lot of my beliefs have changed, they have to unlearn that version of you. And I think unlearning a version of you can be very difficult, whereas just learning a version of you, you get to be whoever you want to be with new people. Like, if you want to, that's the perfect time to assert your new beliefs or your new values or new understanding of life. All of this is to say that you should be questioning your own beliefs and your own values on a daily, a weekly, a monthly, a yearly basis, because theoretically they should be changing consistently. They should be changing constantly. And it's really important to understand that if you feel ostracized by your beliefs, you're doing something right. Because quite frankly, society, I don't think it's where anyone wants it to be. So if we continue to feed into the system, it's going to stay that way. If you start to believe your own beliefs and think about why you're thinking about the things that you're thinking about, why you're doing the things that you're doing, you will have a much clearer picture and understand that, hey, just because it's normal doesn't mean it's right. And I think that's a phrase that you need to consistently remind yourself, is just because it's normal doesn't mean it's right. And the only way that we can fix this is one individual working on themselves at a time. And it's very important to understand that just by being you and just by having your beliefs, you may be upsetting people at first, but the more they're exposed to what you're saying, the more they become comfortable with it. And the more they become comfortable with it, at first they might be like, well, don't do that. Like your friends might actually say, don't do that. If you are in the state where you are confident enough in your beliefs, you can tell them, so I'm actually going to do what I want. But I understand where you're coming from. There's no need to be rude to people that don't understand the vision yet, because that is just going to deter them from the vision. And hopefully, eventually we will get to a place where society's version of success is more about human connection and is more about intentionality and less about money is God. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I got more ideas coming for you guys. And I hope you have a great day. Okay, love you, bye.